Hello, I'm Greg Bird, editor of the McCreary County Voice. I'd like to welcome you to another edition of McCreary County Newsmakers presented by The Voice and our sponsors Hickman Strunk Funeral Home and Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. In this episode, we speak with McCreary County's Community and Economic Development Director Susan Stevens and talk to her about the proposed waste-to-energy plant that could bring upwards of 600 jobs to McCreary County. In our second segment, I caught up with Lady Raider Kaylee Cotton and her thoughts on becoming the school's all-time scoring leader. So please enjoy the latest edition of McCreary County Newsmakers. Hello again, everybody. I'm joined here today by our Community and Economic Development Director, Susan Stevens. Susan, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
The main reason we're talking this morning is there's been a lot of discussion since November when the announcement came that the Met Group Incorporated, or Met Group USA, is planning to build a waste-to-energy plant here in McCreary County. Can you just give a brief overview of their announcement and what their plans are and what it could mean to the county?
Yeah, they actually contacted us in August and approached us as far as our commitment, or what our commitment could be, or our interest in them locating here in the community. The plan is to, in a 3-year time frame, build the waste-to-energy plant. They're looking at direct employment anywhere from 600 to 900 people. There'll be different levels of employment, skilled and semi-skilled and that kind of thing. The process is a process of negotiation. So there's a lot of negotiations that I think they thought when they come in November and met with us here for a week, that would go a little bit quicker. Then as they got into that process, has gone a little bit slower. So that's kind of why there's been that gap of time. They negotiated with one energy company. That didn't work out to what they needed, so they're now negotiating with a different company. So they've got key things to be profitable in their business plan that they have to address. Another process is the incentives that they can apply federally and state incentives. So that takes time. Government bureaucracy and paperwork, it takes a little time. So the new date they're kind of looking at, hopefully give us a definite timeline by March. Again, that could change based on negotiations, but they are still very positive. Some of the investors and the people behind the project met in Europe a couple of weeks ago, and they're still very positive and interested in the project. So it's just a waiting game, which is frustrating, when you see something and you're like, where is it? Why isn't it coming? But we are, making sure we do what's right for the community. And they're making sure they're doing what's right for not only their billion-dollar investment in the community, but for their company to be profitable, which is, we want them to be profitable so we can have jobs. So hopefully, again, they have led me to believe by March they should have some more information that we can share publicly. We have to sign confidentiality agreements, and we can't disclose, the judge and I, every detail of the project, but hopefully people will just be patient, and we can share that with them.
Well, let's talk briefly about the confidentiality, because there's a lot of comments in the public that this is a smokescreen, or the lack of information available to the public. As the economic side of this goes, can you speak to why a lot of this information does have to be kept private? Well,
the main thing is we don't want anybody to steal anything away. So competition is a key thing. We don't want to divulge so much information that somebody in Tennessee jumps on and offers them a deal that we can't meet. So a lot of it is keeping that information close at hand while they're looking at the different aspects of their business plan and not losing them to someone else. There's a lot of proprietary information. These are 18 different technologies that are theirs, they own. So we can't talk to them, about those types of things. So the norm for any project starts out with what we call a RIF, which is request for information, or RFI. And at that point, we sign confidentiality agreements. As far as myself, the judge, or anybody else that is involved in any types of information sharing or negotiations. So that is key in developing projects, is keeping that private, confidential information to ourselves, and the company, expects that. So again, it's something that is part of the process that a lot of people, don't understand, but a lot of that goes on before it's even announced that a company's interested. I've had many projects that they've requested information that I haven't shared anything except that we've had interest, and that at that point, that's all you can really say.
It's to protect both parties in it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just a couple of weeks ago, I spoke with Representative Ken Upchurch, and he talked a little bit about what his role and what other legislators. I mean, you have done due diligence. The county's done due diligence with this company, but it's not just McCreary County and Met Group negotiating. There are other levels to the Frankfurt to Washington that are involved in this project. It's not just us on an island. Right.
No, definitely not. And any project, it's not just us on an island. I mean, the state offers lots of different incentive packages for companies. So, yeah, Ken Upchurch has been crucial in helping us make contact with folks and Met Group and introductions, helping to bridge that gap of not just, a company calling up cold that, I'm introducing you, I've met these folks, I know who they are. So, yeah, the local, it definitely doesn't even hardly begin sometimes at the local level. We're involved, but we're part of the big picture. So yeah, this project has gone actually all the way to DC. Congressman Rogers has been assisting us with some things. So yeah, definitely, it's not just
us.
Just us, no.
Okay. And you mentioned at the last fiscal court meeting, the past two, you've presented brief updates of what you could, and again, understanding there's only so much you can say. But one of the things is this month they're going to before the state board to get approval on some tax incentives, and right now they're negotiating with another energy company. Can you just speak real briefly as to what's going on with those two projects?
I can't give a whole lot of detail as far as the companies and things like that, or the money that's being involved as far as negotiations. Their business plan requires basically 4 elements to get the $1 billion funding that they are asking from Europe and the investors in Europe. And one, the energy, purchasing of the energy is crucial. The ability to have waste come in to produce the products and the energy. The other is the incentives that not just statewide but federally, any kind of incentives for clean energy. As we know, the coal industry is dying out, and they're looking for clean ways and green ways to produce energy. So a lot of the federal and state initiatives, grants, incentives, things that they fall into by nature of their technology and their process. Hopefully, they can tap on all of those different items and be even more profitable, and hopefully hire more people and expand or whatever. Their goal is to add several locations in the United States. They're all over Europe. They're in in the Middle East, Japan. I mean, they're all over different countries. So we're kind of like the last frontier for that particular company. But we're the flagship. They want us to be the first, want us to be the model that they build other facilities after. So I don't know if I went around your question, but they are very positive. I spoke with the CEO, Mark, yesterday. We're in close contact. We speak every week, more if needed, as far as what level they, where they're at, and the incentives that they're looking for from the state. They meet late next week, so hopefully they'll have some information that they can start working with the other negotiations that they need to get that settled and move forward. So.
Switching gears to another topic you brought up at the fiscal court meeting is the Trail Town initiative that McCreary County's been working on for the past couple of years. You're told the fiscal court that you're hoping as soon as the weather warms up, you'll get everything is done and laid out, and just have to have the official declaration from the state. You want to give a brief overview on the process of what everything that went through to get Trail Town certification and what it means?
Well, it's been a very long road, and there's been a lot of key players: Andy Powell, Tara Cheney, Becky Agnew, The Forest Service, Laurie Smith and Tim have done fantastic work. We've worked with the Park Service and Nikki. So it's a collaboration. It's not just something that, I sat in here for a couple years and wrote a book. It's been a huge collaboration, and this is kind of the beginning of the process. Honestly, when we get the certification, we have to, as a community, to continue to meet some of those plan of action goals that we've developed. It's definitely not the end. It's more of the beginning. We don't just slap
a sign up and we're done.
Exactly. Well, the signs are up, and it's just a matter of making it official. We are a trail town, and we are on the maps and all the marketing that the state is using already as a trail town. They paid for the brown signs on the interstates and things like that. But I think it is a definitive way to bring folks in and give them options and not just expect them to come in and figure out where to go. We have tons of trails, we have tons of beautiful sites, we have tons of things to offer. But if you just drive into this community, it's kind of tough to figure out, where do I go for what I want to do? It's overwhelming. I get this a lot. People say, do you have a map of all the trails? No. There's, trails in the Daniel Boone National Forest. There's trails in the National Park. There's, private or state trails. The Sheltowee itself. So it's really tough to bring that together and be able to offer, folks, what kind of hiking do you want to do? Well, here's your options. So it's kind of to develop that process where there's one hub, there's one place for people to come into, get that information, figure out how they, what all they want to do. And once they have knowledge of all of the things we have to offer, they see that they can't do it in one day. They may come down to ride the train and not have any idea what else we have here. And there's a hub there for them to say, oh, well, I didn't know they did this, or I didn't know they had this. And hopefully not just bring more people in, but have them stay. And that's crucial, is to have them stay and spend their money. Not just pass through and do one thing and go on to somewhere else, but to have them make this a destination. In Trail Town, that's kind of the whole premise of it, is to make it a destination.
And a lot of the work that you mentioned, Tara Cheney, our tourism development director, who resigned to spend more time with her family in December. Yeah. A lot of work she did on redesigning our website, and a lot of the work.
She did a lot of work.
That's just a lot of stuff that anybody would McCrearyCounty.com or visit.
It's McCrearyTourism.com, which we're actually working on a grant for marketing for Trail Town, to keep enhancing our marketing, and part of that will be to do a specific page on our tourism website that's Trail Town, and kind of get that whole brand out there. And Tara was crucial in taking a little bit of grant money and making it just go very far. All of our banners, all of our signage, everything that's we need to market our brand. She did a fantastic job, and I miss her very much. But it's not just there's a lot of different, like I said, different entities that have been involved in this whole process, and I couldn't sit and probably name them all by memory. There's been so much, but again, there's going to be continuing efforts. We still need help. We still need the community to do, take on things and projects. So I don't want everybody to just say, oh, well, we're Trail Town certified, we're done. No, we need to keep working on making it better and better.
Okay. And just to wrap up, is there anything else that you're working on that you'd like to share, or you can share, I guess is probably more appropriate?
Well, I can share some information about our farmers market. We're doing, last year was our first year. I think we did fantastic for the first year. I am got us approved as far as the market to get some training and technical assistance. It was basically paid for by Community Farm Alliance. It's about equivalent to $7,000–8,000 of assistance. So I'm going through that training, and some of the stuff we've already done, but there's a lot of good information. I was on a conference call late last night with that process. We've got the ability to take EBT, SNAP, debit, credit cards this year. So I will put a plug. We have a meeting February the 17th, 5 p.m. at the college, and everybody's invited. I would love to see more vendors, farmers, crafters, just pump it up. We're going to hopefully do some events this year, but I think you'll see it kind of take off and be even better this year. So I definitely am excited about seeing how that plays out with that assistance and the EBT machines.
Sure.
And we got that paid for free as far as grants. So
And that's always nice.
free is good. Free is good.
Okay. Anything else that you want?
A lot of what I guess I do, a lot of misconception about my position. A lot of what I do is market our community. A lot of competition. 120 counties in the state, and then you start looking at 50 states, and then you start looking at many countries. So there's a lot of competition. So I just want people to know that even though they may not see a company coming in every week or announcements every month or every year even, that there's a process that is going on, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. Probably the most crucial thing is having a person here and making contacts and being involved in the whole field, so that they know who to call, they have a contact, they can get the answers they need. And I think that's, I can tell a difference from the first year I was in this job to the second year as far as companies, reaching out and asking questions, the state reaching out and saying, I have a company that might be interested. So I think it's crucial that that this position is here to allow those networks and that building of relationships, because that's how it works. It's who you know and who you can talk to and partner with. So I hope everybody just can be patient and the good will come. So.
Okay. Once again, I'd like to thank McCreary County's Community and Economic Development Director Susan Stevens for being with us today and sharing what she could. And understand it's not something you'd love to shout it from the highest mountains every day, but there's things you have to protect and go through.
I've told my cats, so they know all about it, but they don't talk. But
well, thank you, Susan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now we'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsors, Hickman Strunk Funeral Home and Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance and Josh Bruce. Nothing compares to the comfort true friends and neighbors can provide during the loss of a loved one, and Hickman Strunk Funeral Home at 156 South Main Street in Whitley City has been providing that comfort to the good people of McCreary County for over 90 years. With a level of compassion and expertise in monument sales, pre-need, and all aspects of providing you the best in funeral services, let Hap and Tracy, Tim, Paige, and Cecil at Hickman Strunk Funeral Home show you there is a difference in the care and service they provide. Hickman Strunk Funeral Home of Whitley City is the familiar face of funeral service. Josh Bruce and his staff have you covered at Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Located at 117 South Main Street in Whitley City, Josh has been your local Farm Bureau agent for over 12 years, and he can give you the coverage you need for auto, home, life, and commercial insurance. If you want a free, competitive insurance quote, see your Kentucky Farm Bureau agent Josh Bruce here in Whitley City. Josh and his staff are your home team advantage. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance of Whitley City, big on commitment. In this week's Raider Report, McCreary Central junior Kaylee Cotton has been an integral part of the Lady Raiders basketball team since her varsity debut as a 7th grader. Earlier this season, Cotton passed one of her idols, Lindsay Waters, to become the school's all-time scoring leader. After a recent game, I caught up with Kaylee to talk to her about the honor and also the state of the Lady Raiders. Hello again, everybody. I'm here with Kaylee Cotton, Lady Raiders junior guard. Thank you for being with me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
First question I ask you is, your thoughts on the season so far. We're almost a month away from the district tournament. How do you feel the team's coming along?
Our biggest problem is we're young, but I honestly think that we just have to keep getting in the gym, just keep working harder. We got to listen to Coach Brankin, we got to execute more.
In the district tournament, you guys will be facing off against Wayne County. You guys have played them tight both games this season. How you feel you're progressing towards preparing them?
I think we just have to. It's just all in our head. We can beat them in the district tournament. We could have beat them twice already.
You mentioned Coach Burchett. This is the first year coaching. Your third coach in about 4 years. How's the team adjusting to Coach Burchett, and how do you feel that he's doing with the team?
He's doing great. He couldn't have came at a better time. Our program has been down, and everybody, is aware of that. And as I said, we're young, and he's helping us.
Okay. And the real reason, and you can kind of see it in the shot over our shoulder, is you have become the Lady Raiders' all-time leading scorer as a junior. How big of an honor is that for you, and what does that mean to you and your team?
It's just so humbling, but I have to give God the glory to everything. And when I was a baby, Lindsay Waters was my idol, and it's just amazing that I could ever, it's just unbelievable.
Okay. And of course, with with that honor, and you've got a lot of attention. I mean, being recruited by schools. How does that feel to know that you've got these? You could almost have your pick of colleges. They're coming looking at you.
As I said, it's humbling. That's really the only answer I have. It's not me. It's God's done everything. So.
Well, again, congratulations. Thank you
so
for
much.
being here, and best of luck going forward. And ladies and gentlemen, Kaylee Cotton.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed the latest edition of McCreary County Newsmakers presented by the McCreary County Voice and our sponsors Hickman Strunk Funeral Home and Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. You can watch this video and all our videos on our YouTube page, The McCreary Voice, or by visiting our Facebook page or our website at www.tmcvoice.com. Be sure to leave us your comments and feedbacks on our videos so we can continue to make good entertainment for you. As again, thank you for watching.